In the strangest team announcement by a director of national intelligence and an FBI director that we have ever seen, the FBI director did not say a single word to support what the director of national intelligence said in a rushed press conference that took no questions.
We have confirmed that some voter registration information has been obtained by Iran and separately by Russia. This data can be used by foreign actors to attempt to communicate false information to registered voters that they hope will cause confusion, sow chaos, and undermine your confidence in American democracy.
When it was the FBI director's turn to speak next, he did not refer to a single thing that the director of national intelligence said and simply made a general restatement of the FBI's mission to protect our elections.
As always, the men and women of the FBI remain committed to protecting the American people, our democracy, and the integrity of our elections. We are not going to let our guard down. Thank you.
Joining us now on short notice after this news broke tonight is Congressman Adam Schiff of California. He's chair of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Chairman Schiff, what was your reaction to this announcement tonight?
Well, I think it was much the same as yours, Lawrence. I think we can rely on what the director of the FBI has to say, and he didn't have much to say tonight. But he does have a history of speaking truth to power, unlike so many in the current administration. And I think that he is absolutely right. The FBI will do everything in its power to ascertain what foreign powers are doing and to try to stop any interference in the election. As far as Director Ratcliffe's statement, the two examples that he gave of Iranian interference, the mailing of these emails purportedly from the Proud Boys to Democratic voters, appear to be an effort to suppress the Democratic vote or an effort to inflame the Democratic vote or simply to sow chaos. Now, Director Ratcliffe's statement that this showed a preference for Donald Trump, the emails themselves, or this video that suggests that there could be counterfeit or fraudulent ballots mailed from overseas, that latter is a Trump talking point. It's hard to see how that could be hurtful to the president. So we don't know whether this is just Ratcliffe's spin or whether it's the assessment of the analysts. Tragically, we've seen a lot of Ratcliffe political spin, dishonesty from the director, and so it's very difficult to rely on what he has to say. We'll be probing it further to find out whether that's a political commentary by the director or whether there's more to it.
Former acting director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, said this tonight: the intelligence community doesn't come out with an official analytical judgment along the lines of the Iranians were trying to hurt President Trump without rock-solid evidence to prove that, and we got none of that evidence tonight from DNI Ratcliffe. Do you expect any more evidence to be forthcoming?
Well, you know, I do expect and I hope to get more insight and evidence. And what we may be seeing from Director Ratcliffe is something we have seen from him in the past, which is the conflation of two different things in a misleading fashion. And that is, there may be a body of intelligence suggestive that Iran has a preference in the election, and Iran may be even acting on that preference. But in terms of these two actions that he's identifying tonight, which seem to either cut in the opposite direction by propagating the president's false statements about the sanctity of our elections, or the effort to, by email, suppress or anger the Democratic vote, you can't tell from the surface of those two actions whether they're a manifestation of some broader interest or intent by the Iranians. So again, we need to get to the bottom of it. We will do our best to do so. But I think the rule of thumb, sadly, for the American people is they can rely on what they hear from the FBI director. They cannot rely on what they hear from the director of national intelligence without proof on the table.
Well, I've heard Congressman Ratcliffe lie when he was a member of your committee. Christopher Wray, I listened to very carefully, and he literally did not say a single word that referred to anything that Ratcliffe had just said.
Well, you know, that's true. And I think that's telling. If he was willing to affirm what the Director Ratcliffe had to say, I think that he would have done so. But he is making every effort to keep the Bureau out of politics. That's what he should be doing. Director Ratcliffe should be doing the same. I mean, the goal here is the sanctity of our elections, to make sure that every American gets to vote, their vote gets counted, it's not interfered with by foreign powers. Our intelligence community leadership isn't spinning the matter. They're just telling the American people the truth so that we can protect the franchise. I think we can be confident that's what Christopher Wray is doing. But Director Ratcliffe has a history now, in his short tenure in that office, of selectively declassifying intelligence, risking sources and methods, undermining our national security to provide campaign fodder for the president, and particularly around his presidential debates or the vice presidential debates. Those aren't the actions of a genuine intelligence community leader. Those are the actions of a partisan who's merely occupying that position. And there's a big difference between the two.
Chairman Adam Schiff, thank you very much for joining us on short notice tonight with this breaking news. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.